One, two, three. I've broken it down into what I would say are at least two different ways of living, ways of being. The simplest way I can think of it is that it seems like there's people who accept and embrace. There's people who deny and they fear. This is based on the kinds of feelings I get when I'm around certain kinds of people. You could call it people with a scarcity mentality, and then you could call it people with an abundance type of mentality. Where does that come from? Is it genetic? Is it given to us by God? I'm not sure. I'm still trying to work that out. But let me share with you some of my thoughts. The type of people that are accepting and they embrace brings to feeling joy, grateful, humble. When you're a joyful person, you live as if you're in the Garden of Eden. You're just happy, you're joyful. You exist, you acknowledge that you exist, and that in itself is enough to just be happy. Don't need to ask questions, it's just great. If you're joyful, you live from a frame of cooperative, you're interdependent, you see everyone as just being an extension of yourself, the planet as being an extension of yourself. The creator and the created are one and the same. They're together. And you see yourself in everything that's around you. Cooperative and interdependent. That means not being independent, not being dependent, but cooperating with other people. You play, you explore. I'm going to work my way down here. You play, you explore. I talked about that in another video where I felt like when people were younger, we had a choice to play and explore or to follow the group. If you're coming from a joyful frame, you play and explore. Now working your way down, this is kind of what I would call like the God algorithm, the God code, something like that. People who play and explore, they are good servants, they're good workers, and they're good students. Now, I'm thinking about this differently. When I say a good servant, what is a servant taking care of? A servant in this world is taking care of what has been given to them by the environment, the resources, the environment, their body. These are all gifts from wherever we come from. You're a good servant. You take care of the things that have been entrusted to you. You're a good worker. This could be literally having a job. You do a good job. You're a good worker. Doesn't necessarily mean working at a job where you get paid money. No, it just means every day when you wake up and you go to work. What does that look like? What does a good worker look like? It's someone who's planning. They make plans based on what they read, what they write. They take notes. It'd be something like what I do, where I write just to think. I'm not writing to take notes. I'm writing to think and to put my ideas down on paper. This, being able to use this pen and being able to use this paper is our tools that I've been given. Tools to take care of as a servant. Also tools I've been given to be a worker, to work my life. Also a good student. Good students, they ask questions, pragmatic, and mind my own business. So I'm a good servant, a good worker, and a good student. I mind my own business. If you do these things, say, just let's pick the example of getting a job. But your capital could be physical things. It could be physical, could be the hormones, the emotions that you feel in your body. It could be mental, the ideas you have, the things you've thought about and experienced in your life. And it could also literally be money. If you're living your life as a good worker, servant, and student, you start to get things like capital. Let's just stick with the money example here. That goes back into being more of a good servant, a good, what's the word? You take care of money. You do a good job, you're a good student. You probably get more capital. More work, more capital, more work, more capital. Then your character, your DNA, which is unlike any other human that has ever existed in the history of the world, gives you the capability to create, unlike any other human that has ever existed in the history of the world. What is creating? Creating is using imagination and your resources that you've obtained to become an extension of the universe's unfolding and discovering itself. Working your way down. And if you want, you can go back. You can just be good worker, servant, student, getting capital, going back. You can just stay here. At some point, you're going to have the desire to become more interdependent, working with other people, and you're going to use your character to create. And then maybe you go back and you learn more and you create more, you learn more, create more. You get into the, what I'll call for now, the God algorithm. Emotions that you're having, feelings, adjectives are joy, you're grateful, you're humble. Grateful people, they appreciate. They're resourceful. They appreciate what's been given to them in the environment, what they have. They save, they manage, and they grow. I've been given a mind and a body and abilities, and I will take care of them. I will preserve them. I will grow them and use them. And I will use them to the best of my abilities. Resourceful and manage. Also, being grateful means being aware and alert. You're paying attention to life. If you give me a life and I don't engage in it, I don't pay attention to it, it's basically being disrespectful to your God. You're being disrespectful to the laws of the universe. Does that mean you're going to get punished or have a difficult life? No, it just means you're being disrespectful, and things might not come as smoothly or naturally as they would, because the way that our body is built, it seems to me like the way our body is built, if you work within the system that the universe has created for us, paying attention, being joyful, being appreciative, a good student, worker, servant, it seems like things spiral upward naturally with very little effort, because you're, maybe you could say, in line with the way the universe works. If you were to give a child, I've heard this analogy before, if you gave a child a gift and they just put it on the shelf and they walked away, you would feel that they didn't appreciate or respect the gift that you gave them. So the universe has given you many abilities, and you're to use them to go out and create. You're aware, you're alert, and you pay attention. That's part of being grateful. That's part of being humble, realizing that everything you have could be taken away from you, but you have it. So you're not arrogant, but you are confident in what you have. I was thinking today of an example. If I was blind, I would be not arrogant, but I'd be confident that I would just start learning Braille. I would use my ears more. I would use my touch more. And I'm confident that I could do that. Let's pick another example. If I was blind, what did I say first? Deaf or blind? I'm just using simple examples. If I was deaf, then I would use my sight more. I would use my taste more to continue to be a good servant, a good worker, a student. You can be a good servant, worker, or a student with one eye, with one arm, with no family, with sickness or disease. And then people over here people that deny and they're afraid, they hide, they live in a world of, their frame is of scarcity. Frame, when I say frame here, I mean the frame that you see the world through. People over here, they see the world through a sense of scarcity. If I want it, you can't have it. If you have it, that means I can't share it or cooperate with you or be interdependent with you. That means, so I want to take and I want to hide and I want to keep and I don't want to share. Because they're not playful and they're not exploring. They're not full of joy. They lose the ability to just have fun with it, have fun with life. They start to create dichotomies of things are good or they're bad. There's work time and there's play time. You're either a success or a failure. Good or bad is denying that things are very relative. Working and playing is denying that work is play and play is work. That you are doing work by waking up, paying attention, learning. That is work, but it can also be play. And it's also creating a dichotomy with success and failure, where you're not appreciating the journey, which is the goal. The goal is just enjoying the journey. The goal is not the goal. The goal is constant activity, is constant action and movement. And then I also added it's disrespectful. I already explained that. These people are disrespectful, they waste, and they're unappreciative of the things that they have. And those who have more will be given. So people who are responsible and resourceful and appreciate what they have, they get more emotions, they get more responsibility, they get more given to them. Sometimes it's not even tangible, sometimes it's intangible. And they're distracted and they avoid. You see a lot of people, they try to distract themselves through being involved in things, watching television shows, playing games, by not sitting quietly, by staying constantly moving. They can avoid thinking, accepting and embracing. By staying constantly distracted and always moving, they can deny what they're feeling inside. They can deny the creator, the creation. They don't want to accept, they don't want to listen, they don't want to embrace things that are reality.